This morning I saw a post from an artist making a statement about making statements. The statement said protest didn't stop the Iraq War, that protesting does nothing really. There were other statements about the futility and ritual of statements, siding with the powers that be, encouraging defeatism. It smelled like bootlicking. Perhaps this is the price of admission to the amusement park known as the art world. Public capitulation with status quo earns you a blue chip, kind of like a 12-step program. Think there's a big blue handbook? A protest, a real protest, never asks permission. Most of the protests I've ever gone to were permitted carnivals. They call actual protests riots. That other stuff with the permits is controlled opposition. I remember watching the philosopher Slavoj Žižek at Occupy Wall Street. He cautioned us not to fall in love with ourselves. He reminded us that carnivals come cheap. What matters is the day after, when we will have to return to normal lives. Will there be any changes then? I think asking questions is better than making statements. There's a saying about meeting your heroes. I don't remember the quote exactly. It has something to do with disappointment. This reminds me of my favorite quote from the film Elmer Gantry. The mob don't like their gods to be human. I had an art hero. He was once a subversive artist, spent time in jail even. I flew to San Francisco just to see his installation on Alcatraz. Recently I saw him in a video calling a war criminal his friend. This is why I no longer have heroes. I expect too much from creative people, and I can't be bought. It's always a disappointment to see the artist forego critical thinking, curiosity, and the questioning, no, rebellion of status quo. I used to think we were supposed to be radical, thoughtful, to be the ones to question, to document and change culture. Then I remember all the people I once knew who went to art school. I didn't go to art school. I was never that entitled. Someone I know is going to bitch about that last bit. It's okay. They're entitled to it. A mentor once told me that we artists are under a moral and social obligation to share our gifts, our voices with the world. I say gifts because the word talent has become an empty and worn-out cliche, like an internet meme. It means nothing, really. One doesn't need talent to be considered successful these days. It is usually the comfortable, colorless, liberal creator that licks the boots of the oppressor class and reaps the rewards. Privilege always has had its benefits. Emma Goldman was right. If voting changed a damn thing, they'd make it illegal. Nothing changes at the ballots. It's a game of political sleight of hand. One hand gives while the other takes. The truth is, nothing changes without a hard push from the outside. Or at least a hard push for a floor vote to put everyone on record. Now, even the progressive factions in office call speaking out demanding action, like doing something to earn our votes, violence or stochastic terrorism. Words and ideas are weapons. Emma Goldman was a woman of words and ideas. She was also considered the most dangerous woman in America. I aspire to be that dangerous. You do realize that revolution can be as simple and bloodless as changing your mind, right? It is said that you are what you eat. I say you also become the information you consume. If you are only consuming mainstream media, ingesting the corporate and captured agenda, you are thinking the thoughts of your oppressor, viewing the world through the lens of your oppressor, spewing the ideology of your oppressor, doing the dirty work of your oppressor while enjoying the comfort of playing it safe. Congratulations, you are now the good slave. During the 2016 election between the orange fascist and the fascist blue war criminal, an artist on Facebook told me that this was not the time to stand on principles. The throbbing in my left eye seemed to drum out what I wanted to scream. What the fuck is wrong with you? Instead, I answered, when exactly is the right time to stand on principle? She never answered back. They never do.